Hi everybody and welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation. This is going to be a Q&A about what is a Goldilocks cup. Essentially a Goldilocks cup is a perfect fitting, feeling and sealing cup that is not too firm, too soft, too long or too short. Hence Goldilocks. This cup is quite hard to find sometimes, as even if you know your cervix height, which is very important in picking your cup, you may not quite get the right flexibility or rigidity or firmness in the cup. And you may also find, which is something that I find that's not always discussed, that you might have more than one cup that is perfect for you, because your cervix may go up and down over your cycle. So you may find that you have more than one cup that is perfect for you on different days, flows and or cervix height over the course of your cycle, of your menstrual cycle, because I certainly do. So I have this Yuki cup. I'm now going to have to sterilize them all again, but that's okay. This is my Yuki cup large, and I use this for my heavy days. This is my Lally cup black edition in medium, and this is what I use for like my third day, which is usually a medium day. And then for light days I have my ruby cup, which is the smallest cup I have, and you can see that there is quite a significant size difference in the two of them, because while I have a high cervix, these two, suit me on different days. And this is also my red ruby cup. These two are the same size. This one here is my lunette cup. I did get this after the Diva cup didn't work out for me. I have since destashed the Diva cup to a friend of mine, and I will most likely destash this lunette cup as well. The net cup is really, really lovely. It just, now I have these three brands and these 4 cups. I just don't need this, and it would be last on my list to use. And which is exactly what I'm playing. Which is exactly kind of leads into my point, which is I didn't have a problem with the lunette cup. I just decided to try the ruby cup. I liked the philosophy of the ruby cup, and before the ruby cup, so I ordered the ruby cup red, and then I wanted a ruby cup black, but I can't remember what happened. I can't remember why I couldn't buy it in October, because obviously it's a Halloween cup edition. So I bought a black Lally cup, so I'd have the black cup, and then the black ruby cup got released as a worldwide or year-round cup, so I grabbed one anyway. So I grabbed one for me and one for my sister. It is also important to get kind of intimate with your body. You should be intimate with your body, so when you know that changes happen, you will then be better able to deal with it or notice it and then seek medical attention. So you really need to get intimate with how your cervix is, find out its height, find out if it leans one way or the other, because that may influence the way that you actually need to put your cup in or place your cup, or what fold you use. You'll need to know how the cup opens, because that affects how you leak or if you leak. Once you know all of this, at least it will indicate the size of your cup. Then you can consider the firmness and whether you want medical grade silicone, which is what most are and what all of these are, or TPE, which is what the Maluna or the Hello cup use, or rubber, which is what the Keeper uses. And also check for rim size and thickness. So what I mean by that is see how the lunette's rim is a lot more prominent than the rubies. But if you look down I might actually use the red one for this, it might come up on. So the lunette's rim is a lot more prominent than the rubies, but if you look at the base, these ridges here are a lot more prominent than the lunettes. Now the lunettes are, this has been cut off, This one hasn't. This one is the best grip tail that I've ever had. This one poked out too much and poked me in the side of the labia, so I cut it off. But yeah, this is the best grip that I've had, and these are quite prominent. But these are types of things that you have to look at, whether you need prominent ridges, whether you need this prominent lip, and like these are the type of things that you're looking for or looking at, which is why it can be sometimes quite hard to tell when you haven't got a cup if the rim's actually going to suit you or not. These rims are about the same, but the lunette is a lot more solid. And as you can tell, the Lally cup is a lot softer and the lunette is a lot more firmer. So these are the type of things that you'll be looking at when you first go to purchase a cup. And sometimes it is hard to tell because you don't get to feel them and play with them. Put a Cup in It has a very, very good survey. I'll link their website down below so you can go and check it out. And the firmness will depend on how sensitive you are at insertion and removal and how strong your pelvic floor muscles are, along with how easy you want the cup to pop open. So softer cups like this ruby cup, they pop out a lot harder, or it takes them longer to pop out than say the lunette, because the lunette is very, very firm. It actually pops out really, really easy. So just some quick tips on selecting a menstrual cup is: one, go check out the Put a Cup in It store or website that I'll link below, but also number one, check your sensitivity to materials and pick accordingly. So obviously available are the thermoplastic elastomer, which is the TPE, rubber, silicone or medical grade silicone. So if you have sensitivity to any one of those, don't pick a cup with that of that make. Number two is shape of the cup. Again, there are plenty of different options: cone shape, bulb shape, tulip shaped, and on top of the different shapes, the rims and stems can vary wildly even within the same brand. Number three is the length of the cup is another consideration, which is why it is important to check your cervix height. So they're the primary considerations. The secondary considerations are bladder sensitivity, because that will contribute to whether you pick a soft or a firm cup. A surface finish, you can get matte or smooth finishes. So this is quite a shiny cup. This is quite a matte cup. As you can see, this is quite shiny on the inside and quite matte on the outside. So same as this, matte and shiny. You can probably tell the difference more with these two, is that this is quite a matte finish, this is the ruby cup, and the Lally cup is quite a shiny finish. Also on top of that, so these, along with these different finishes, which is the matte or the smooth coloured finishes, you also will need to consider the grip rings, which are these ones here. As you can tell that these have two different types of grip ring styles here, whether they are prominent or not so prominent. Also you'll need to consider the stem lengths, but of course, just like I did with the lunette here, you can cut it off. You'll also need to consider the flexibility and surface patterns. These don't have any surface patterns on them, but I think it's the Love Your Body cup comes with surface patterns on it, like little flowers, so that may irritate your vaginal canal. And the last kind of secondary consideration are the colour. However, this is a purely cosmetic consideration and doesn't actually affect the use or quality of the cup. Lunette does a lot of colours. Obviously this is yellow. Ruby has a couple of colours, and as does the Yuki. And the Lali cup has the most amount of colours that I've seen, so you do have a variety of cup colours to choose from, but really this is the last on your list of considerations that you would want. Outside of that, enjoy the rest of your day or the rest of your evening, depending on when you're listening to this. I hope this helped you out a little bit. Any more questions, you can always flick me a comment or an email or a tweet or an Instagram, or you can head on over to Put a Cup in It, and they'll have a lot more information on how to pick your Goldilocks cup. Thanks guys, bye.